everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're deciding to give this little video a watch. So there's going to be a series of maybe 2 or 3, maybe even 4 little tutorial videos that are maybe useful to help you walk through my Oceanography class lab 2. So this lab goes through kind of the basic overall idea of it is we're going to work with latitude and longitude. And that's basically like where we are on the planet, right? So we're going to investigate areas that maybe it's land, maybe it's ocean. We're going to fill out a blank latitude, longitude map, and then you're going to do some temperature comparisons for places around the world. And maybe some background with that would be that you may not know the answer to some of these questions, and that's totally fine, but we're going to hypothesize some stuff. And then we're going to finish off this lab by looking at and investigating a map of Tomales Bay. So hang with me, and hopefully we will get through this, okay? So the first thing to really recall is that latitude is where we are in terms of the equator and the polar areas. So, and those go through the degrees of latitude go from 0 degrees at the equator to 90 degrees at the various poles. So there's 90 degrees north and there's 90 degrees south. 0 degrees, there's no north or south for that. There's just straight 0. So that's latitude, and it's really important because that can basically tell us whether or not or how strong the sun angle is depending on what season we're in, right? Because we are a tilted planet. So that's what latitude tells us. Longitude then tells us where we are basically like horizontally for all intents and purposes on our planet. And 0 degrees goes through Greenwich, England, which is what they decided to be the prime meridian. And those degrees go from 0 to 180. So 180 east or 180 west, 180 plus 180 is 360, indicating a full circle. So we use latitude and longitude to tell us where we are on the planet. And it's a pretty neat little feature. So what you are going to do in this initial lab is you are going to do some various activities that help go through these ideas. So this is just a reminder of what latitude and longitude are. Here's kind of a blank lat-lon map that you can use for the first activity here. So the first activity that I want you to do is you're given coordinates in this little table here on the left, and I would like for you to tell me whether or not those coordinates are on land or on ocean. So a way that you could do that, if you're printing this at home or even using a device, which was totally fine. So say my first example is 40 degrees north, 120 degrees west. And I will also mention that there is absolutely zero shame in having to write yourself a compass somewhere. So the compass, like cardinal directions, would be something like never eat soggy waffles. Never eat soggy waffles, or never eat shredded wheat, however you do it, sometimes you got to write that somewhere. I still do it to this day, and I have a master's degree, right? So absolutely zero shame in doing that yourself somewhere on you. Maybe you have a Post-it note or something around your computer. So if I'm saying 40 degrees north, that means I'm above this red line right here. So I'd find where I think 40 would be. Something you could do, maybe if you're still using your screen, you can take like a piece of paper and maybe kind of put it where you think 40 is, around there. And then similarly for 120 west, going back to my cardinal directions, west would be in the left side of where the prime meridian goes through. The difference between, in this particular map, the differences between latitude and longitude, latitude tends to be like straight lines, whereas longitude has some curves to them. So because of those curves, you have to remember when you find that 120, remember curves are sexy, follow the curves, right? Follow the curves. So where 120 intersects with 40, I would say that that is about over land, right? So just do your best with this particular exercise. I know it can be a little bit wonky at first, but just do your best with it and fill in the rest of this table. Another way that we can designate latitude and longitude is further like parsing it down into minutes and seconds. So 1 degree is 60 minutes, and in 1 minute there's 60 seconds. Similarly to like if I were to say that I'm 5'11", I'm 5 feet 11 inches, I could also say I'm 5.9 feet, right? It kind of implies all of that in there, and that 0.9 could be those 11 inches. That's kind of a way that you can sort of think about that. This is going to be important in a later activity on this lab. So what you're going to do for this second question is you're going to, and you can use Google to help you out here. So you're just going to look up the latitude and longitude for each of the 6 locations here, both in just regular lat/lon, like straight up degrees, and then also in DMS format. You can literally put into Google latitude and longitude in DMS format for each location, and it will pop up with your answer there. Try to round to the nearest whole numbers, especially for just the straight up latitude and longitude. Just round that to the nearest degree, and then similarly for the degrees and seconds, degrees, minutes, seconds. Okay, so if you have any questions with any of that, please reach out and let me know, and I will do my best to help you as much as possible. Again, we're really just trying to figure out where we are at in terms of spatially existing on our planet. All right, thank you so much for watching.